When you think of World War II warplanes, names like the Spitfire, the Mustang, or the Messerschmitt instantly come to mind. But alongside these legends, there existed a gang of unlikely heroes. Aircraft that by all logic should have failed. They weren't the fastest, or the most advanced, or even produced in great numbers. But through sheer luck, clever tactics, or raw courage, these misfit machines made their mark. This is 10 World War II warplanes that punched far above their weight. Number 10. Polikarpov I-153, the biplane that refused to die. In the age of sleek monoplanes, the Soviet Union fielded a biplane? The Polikarpov I-153 looked like a relic from World War I, yet remained in frontline service until 1945. Designed for a unique Soviet strategy where faster monoplanes would disrupt bomber formations, leaving the biplane to clean up, this plan failed miserably in practice. Yet, the I-153 endured. Over 3,400 were built and fought valiantly against German invaders in 1941. Even more bizarre, it's one of the only warplanes to fight against itself. In 1943, Soviet I-153s clashed with captured Finnish ones. By war's end, the I-153 was the last biplane fighter flying operational missions anywhere on Earth. Number 9. Fiat G50 Freccia, the open cockpit ace-maker. It wasn't pretty, it wasn't popular, but the Fiat G50 had teeth, especially in the hands of Finnish pilots, who used their 33 G50s to shoot down 99 Soviet aircraft for just 3 losses. That's a 33-to-1 kill ratio, one of the highest of the war. Pilots grumbled about the open cockpit, especially in minus 30 degrees Celsius Finnish winters, but it didn't stop them from dominating the skies. Despite being considered lackluster, the G50 became an accidental legend. Number 8. Westland Lysander, the spy taxi. The Westland Lysander was no dogfighter. In its original role of army cooperation, it got massacred. But when reassigned to special duties squadrons, it shined. Flying into Nazi-occupied Europe, often in total darkness, the Lysander delivered agents, picked up downed pilots, and vanished into the night. For spy work, it was perfect. Short takeoff and landing, great visibility, and stealthy performance. They called it the James Bond of World War II aircraft. It may have looked awkward, but it saved countless lives. Number 7. Gloster, Gladiator, the gentleman fighter, the last biplane fighter of the RAF, and their first with an enclosed cockpit. By all accounts, the Gladiator should have been obsolete, and yet it fought everywhere, from Malta to Africa to the Arctic. In a world of hurricanes and Messerschmitts, this biplane still racked up over 300 aerial victories. Even when outclassed, it held its ground, gracefully, stubbornly, and with style. Number 6. Polikarpov. Po-2, the Night Witch. If you think a wooden canvas biplane can't win a war, meet the Po-2. Slow, simple, and nearly silent, the Po-2 was flown by the legendary all-female Soviet regiment known as the Night Witches. Flying up to 18 missions a night, these women harassed Axis positions in the dead of night. The German nickname, Nähmaschine, the sewing machine, due to its rattling sound. But the damage was real. The terror was real. And the Po-2 became one of the most produced biplanes in history with up to 30,000 built. Please hit the subscribe button if you're enjoying this video. It really helps the channel. Number 5. Curtiss P-36. Hawk, America's forgotten fighter. The P-36 Hawk never quite got the spotlight in US service, but in the hands of others, it excelled. In France, it scored a third of all aerial victories, despite making up only 12% of fighters. In Finland, it was nicknamed Sweetheart, and rightly so. Finnish Hawk pilots racked up over 190 kills for just 15 losses. That's Spitfire-level effectiveness from an underdog fighter. Fast, nimble, and tough. The Hawk was better than history remembers. Number 4. PZL-P24. Greece's bold defender, built in Poland, flown by the Greeks. The PZL-P24 was already outdated when Mussolini's forces invaded Greece in 1940, but it fought back hard. On one day, Greek pilot Lieutenant Mitralexis, out of ammo, rammed an Italian bomber mid-air, then landed and captured its crew with a pistol. The PZL-P-24 helped down 37 Italian and 3 German aircraft, a humble export fighter, now immortalized in Greek history. Number 3, Vickers Wellesley, the codebreaker's ally. The Vickers Wellesley was outdated even before the war began. But on October 30th, 1942, it spotted German U-boat U-559, leading to its capture and the recovery of vital Enigma codebooks. This event helped break Germany's naval codes and may have shortened the war by years. Oh, and in 1940, Wellesleys destroyed up to 10,000 tons of fuel in a daring raid on an Italian base in Eritrea. Not bad for a plane nobody remembers. Number 2, Focke-Wulf FW-200, the Atlantic Scourge. Originally a civilian airliner, the Focke-Wulf 200 became one of the most effective maritime bombers of the war. It sank over 300,000 tons of Allied shipping, forcing the development of escort carriers and catapult aircraft ships just to counter it. Despite being fragile and underpowered, its long range made it a deadly spotter for U-boats, and a major headache for Allied planners. Even Churchill supposedly called it the scourge of the Atlantic. Number 1. Fairey Swordfish, the legend in a biplane. It looked ancient, it was slow, and it should have been obsolete, but in 1940, 21 Swordfish biplanes launched a daring night raid on the Italian fleet at Taranto, disabling 3 battleships and changing naval warfare forever. That single operation inspired none other than Pearl Harbor. But the Swordfish wasn't done. It racked up 25 submarine kills, operated from tiny escort carriers, and helped protect over 200 convoys, losing only 9 ships total. This humble biplane was called String Bag because it could carry anything, and seemingly do anything. The Fairey Swordfish, proof that sometimes being underestimated is your greatest strength. In a war defined by cutting-edge tech and overwhelming force, these 10 planes proved something else mattered more: tenacity, ingenuity, and guts. Because when the chips are down, even the underdog can change history. Subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching.